Are you committed to someone and attracted to someone else? It happens to a lot of people around the world because we are not familiar with maintaining the integrity of ourselves with our bodies. While answering a question, Sadhguru goes into the details of the problem. Have a look.
Sadhguru, how can a person stay committed to someone in a relationship? Is it natural to love someone and yet be sexually attracted to others? What should be the proper course of action that should follow, or how does one handle this?
See, there is a psychological integrity, there is emotional integrity, but there is a biological integrity also. Integrity does not mean morality. Integrity means you create a situation where it works best for you. So when we say integrity, suppose I say, there is a certain integrity to my body, this means it's strong and resistant to a whole lot of things, isn't it? It doesn't mean I'm morally stuck in something. So I'm talking about… I want you to understand the word integrity in that context. We are talking about integrity in terms of strength of this life. So if that is the thing, is it true? Do you remember how your great-great-great-great-great-grandmother 10 generations ago looked like? Do you remember? No. But her nose is sitting on your face. Yes or no? So this entire body, what you have, is essentially a certain integrity of memory. If that loses that memory integrity, then you will see it will become vulnerable to so many things. Now, the nature of the body is such that anything that you touch with a certain level of involvement will naturally absorb that memory. Not mentally, physically it'll absorb that memory. Traditionally in this culture we call this runanubandha. You heard of such a word? Runanubandha. What this means is physical memory that you gather. Body remembers, isn't it? Body remembers your forefathers 1,000,000 years ago, yes or no? So what you're calling as my body is a heap of memory, isn't it so?
Yes.
Memory or no? See, now from Nepal you came to Shillong, you eat a lot of this Meghalaya food, your features won't change because your body remembers what is your genetics, no matter what. Or you start eating, let's say, cow's food or dog's food, your body will not get confused and become a dog or a cow because there is evolutionary memory in this. Do what you want, it never gets confused, isn't it? You start thinking I'm a dog and start barking like one, still the body won't change. Yes or no? Mentally you can, but body has such a deep-rooted memory. Wherever you sit, stand, whatever you touch, there is memory and transaction happening all the time. Well, you come from Nepal, in India also it's very much there, in south is very strongly there, north maybe it's become weakened. People never give salt to another person. Do you know this? Here also? If somebody gives you salt, you say, please keep it there. Because there are certain materials which transmit memory much better than others. Salt, sesame seeds, lemons, like this if you give traditional people, they'll say, keep it there, I will take it. Because they don't want to develop runanubandha with you. Now, in India, if you see older generation of people, if you try to shake their hands, they'll do like this, because they don't want to get runanubandha with you. Because the idea is to keep the integrity of your body's memory in such a way that it doesn't become vulnerable to other things, that you become a very integrated life. If you want to nurture yourself to be a certain possibility, then you have to maintain the memory integrity. This is what runanubandha means. You keep your physical memory to the minimal. Why people… you will see this with people, let's say in their home, they will go and sit in one place. This will usually the older people you will see, they want to go and sit in the same place. They won't sit in another place. Have you noticed this? Even your dog, He comes, if he wants to sit here, he'll smell this, he'll smell that, he'll smell that, he'll smell that. And after much searching, he will settle down in that particular place. Next time you chase him somewhere, he comes, he goes and sits in the same place. Because there is memory. Today there is forensic equipment where you're sitting here right now, you went away. After 2, 3, 8 hours, if they come, not with a dog can easily do it. But with forensic equipment, we come here and just check this chair and we know it was you who was sitting here, not somebody else. So there is memory. So that is when the longing, if you have not created enough integrity within yourself, the longing for another body multiplies. Even though the hormonal phase may be higher between 15 to 20, the longing to bind and bond with somebody increases after 21 years of age because unknowingly you're like a satellite who fell off the main mother. You come off the motherboard. Now you want to attach to something unless you find some integrity. This is why between 12 and 18, one must do lot of sadhana to strengthen the body so that you don't desperately bind yourself to something or somebody. A sexual interaction is something where a huge amount of memory is taken from one to the other. So always, not in this society, everywhere else, forever people saw the advantage of keeping that memory to the minimal. If you make that memory very complex, you will see to be at ease will become very difficult after some time. There will be pleasure, but there will be no joy in your life. You can observe people, don't go by what I'm saying. You can observe people, they will have pleasure, they will giggle all the time, but you look at them, there is no joy in them, there's no ease. Because the ease will go away with excessive memory. This is not only with sexuality, there are many other things that you do like this. Wherever I go, especially in America, people will come, Sadhguru, where is my hug? I say, it must be with you. Why is it with me? It is not like at a certain moment when you feel close to somebody, you hug them. It's like all the time you have to touch people. Because today's psychiatrists are analyzing these things and saying that is because they have not been sufficiently touched by their mothers and parents at an early age. When they grow up, they're desperately longing to touch somebody all the time. All these things have a serious impact on one's life. How much physical contact when the child is born, this will determine how much physical contact they will long for later on. And the memory of what an infant picks up from the mother at that time, because till a child becomes 4.5 years of age, in many ways, energy-wise, it's not a separate life, it's still attached to the mother's body. Actually, if by nature if people go till then, they must be drinking the mother's milk and connected up to 4.5 years, that's how naturally it was. Generally, the course of life is considered to be approximately 84 years or 1008 cycles of the moon. The cycles of the moon and our body is very directly connected. Only because our mother's bodies were in sync with the cycles of the moon, we are born, otherwise we wouldn't be born, isn't it? Hello? So, a full life is considered 1008 cycles of the moon, which will approximately considered as 83 to 84 years. So if one crosses 84, it's considered a full life. In this, the first quarter is the only time when it is connected to parentage. After that, the child must move, because energy-wise, you cannot connect those two lives anymore. So, the energy doesn't mature. At that time, more and more memory that you get from the mother is better and better to strengthen this. But once the child begins to move out and becomes an individual, life is organizing itself. People come to me and say, Sadhguru, can you bless my daughter, can you bless my son? First thing I ask is, how old? If they say 15, 16, 18, all right. If they're over 21, I say no. Because me blessing you Blessing will not go to your child. You may still think emotionally that's my child, but as far as life is concerned, it's become fully separate. You must consciously, if you wish to take a partner, it must be a conscious process. If it's a compulsive process, then you will pay the price for it. This is not a question of morality. It is not that this is sin, that is sin. The question is, what is your priority in your life? If your priority is to make this life rise to a higher possibility, then you must be conscious. If you want to somehow live and go, it's okay.
Thank you, Sadhguru.
I'm sorry if I discouraged
You just answered my question, Sadhguru. Thank you so much for that.
Have you heard about the term or concept called self-love? Do you agree with this popular New Age concept? Sadhguru explains the real meaning of self-love and how the adoption of this concept can lead to unexpected and drastic results. Have a look.
So you have tasted the beyond. But now petty things still entangle you. So, if you have tasted it for a moment, just for one moment, there is something beyond what you think and feel. If that has become a real thing for you, even for a moment, then you must invest your life towards that. Yes, I'm trying to, but petty things carry me away. So, you're little falling in love with yourself. That is why, even though the taste of the beyond is somewhere on your tongue, you still can get entangled because you're little becoming inflated personality. People have been telling you, first you must love yourself before you love anybody. If you cannot love yourself, how can you love anybody? If you say, I want to love myself, now you are heading towards schizophrenic condition. Now you're creating two in one. If you want to ensure that you never go insane, the first and foremost step that you need to take is, you take away all divisions and you see this is an individual. An individual means he cannot be further divided, he's indivisible. You cannot divide him anymore. This is one entity, you can't make it into two. If you make it into two, I love myself, now you're heading towards madness. First step has been taken. If life situations cooperate, you will get there quick. If life situations don't create that situation for you, you may manage within socially accepted levels of that madness. You're little in love with yourself. Is that wrong? Nothing wrong, it's just called madness. Because love is an effort, love is a longing to include something as a part of yourself. Love is a process, love is a possibility where you could become larger than who you are. You could become more than what you are by inclusion. Now, if you wallow in your own self-love, now this is going against all the popular teaching. So, the reason why, even if divine touches your tongue, even if the taste of the divine is there on your tongue, you can still get entangled. is simply self-love. It is a sure step, first step towards madness. Whether you're going to get there to the asylum status or you will get only to the ashram status is subject to many things. But because with the taste of the divine on your tongue, you're trying or you have the necessary foolishness in you to fall in love with something so limited which you call as myself, that is a sure sign of madness. That is definitely a sure sign of madness. If you had never tasted it, then this is all you know, that's okay, because you don't know anything better. And the taste of the divine is still lingering and you're getting entangled with something so limited as your personality, that is definitely a sign of madness, there is no question about it. If you're in such a state of madness, you're doomed. Even an astrologer will charge you half price, because when your destiny is so doomed, there's nothing much to predict, it's easy, really. It's very easy. Only one who is in contact with reality will grow. Others, optimists will hallucinate, pessimists will get depressed. Both will not get anywhere. You have to be a realist. You're willing to see everything the way it is. No hype, no depression. You're just where it is. Most important, it's extremely important. So when I see you in a high, I put cold water on you. When you see you're low, I set fire to you. Don't think I'm playing with you. I'm just trying to bring you down to reality. If you go off this way, you're going away. If you go off this way, you're going away. We need you in reality. Only in reality you grow. Growth is possible only in reality. It's the existential which can transcend. Your emotions and thoughts can say whatever they want. They will say one thing today, tomorrow morning they'll change their opinion. They're just like the local gossip. It keeps shifting. It keeps shifting what people are talking about today and what they're talking about tomorrow. Similarly in your mind, whatever your thought process is, whatever your emotional process is just local gossip, very localized to you. Enjoy it if it's nice, but don't believe it. If you like the gossip, you enjoy it. Gossip is for entertainment. What is happening in your mind, your thought and your emotion are psychological. They are just a small offshoot of life. It's not life. Right now, it may be keeping you fully engaged. Your thought and your emotion may be keeping you fully engaged right now, but it is just a small offshoot of life. It is not life. You can think what you want. Even if you're fast asleep, you're still life. In fact, you're more life when there is no psychological activity. If you have known a few moments of what you call as beyond, those were few moments where you were free from the psychological. Those few moments of freedom from the psychological, you are more present than ever. You don't start your spiritual process and gossip. You don't start anything that really matters and gossip. If the taste of the divine has come to you, then you will see entertainment doesn't mean anything. Suddenly entertainment doesn't mean anything at all to you, because all entertainment looks too stale and ridiculous for one who has tasted the real thing.
After the human world became successful in making his outside world better, he went on to work on the inside world. Many new ideologies and terms are introduced. Sadhguru says that maintaining the integrity of one's body is the most important thing. The New Age popular concept of self-love can have some unimagined and drastic consequences that we must be aware of. Click on the videos shown above to attain more wisdom from Sadhguru. Are you going to apply Sadhguru's suggestions in your life? What would you like to see in the next video? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.